Have you ever wondered why it's daytime in one part of the world while it's night in another? The answer lies in time zones. Time zones are regions of the Earth that have the same standard time. They help us organize our lives, coordinate international events, and keep schedules running smoothly across the globe. In this video, we'll explore what time zones are, how they're determined, and why they matter in our interconnected world. Let's start by understanding the basic concept behind time zones and how the Earth's rotation plays a crucial role in their creation. The Earth rotates on its axis, completing one full turn every 24 hours. This rotation causes different parts of the planet to experience daylight and darkness at different times. To keep time consistent within regions, the world is divided into time zones. Each time zone generally covers 15 degrees of longitude, corresponding to 1 hour of time difference. This system ensures that noon is roughly when the sun is highest in the sky for each region. Understanding this rotation is key to grasping why time zones exist and how they affect our daily lives. The starting point for time zones is the prime meridian, located at 0 degrees longitude in Greenwich, England. This line is the basis for Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT. From the prime meridian, time zones are measured east and west, with each zone typically representing 1 hour ahead or behind GMT. The prime meridian is a crucial reference point for global timekeeping, and it helps standardize time across continents and countries. Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT, is the mean solar time at the prime meridian. It was once the world's time standard, and many time zones are still defined by their offset from GMT. For example, GMT plus 1 is 1 hour ahead of Greenwich, while GMT 5 is 5 hours behind. Although Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, is now the official standard, GMT remains widely used in everyday language and international schedules. Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, is the current global time standard. It's based on atomic clocks and is used for scientific, aviation, and international purposes. UTC is almost identical to GMT, but it's more precise and doesn't change with the seasons. All time zones are now defined by their offset from UTC, such as UTC plus 2 or UTC 8. This system ensures accuracy and consistency in global timekeeping. There are 24 standard time zones around the world, each generally covering 15 degrees of longitude. However, the actual number of time zones is higher because some countries use half-hour or even quarter-hour offsets. Political boundaries and local decisions also create additional time zones, so the total number can exceed 40 when considering all variations. This complexity reflects the diverse needs and histories of different regions. Standard time zones are based on the Earth's 2 4-hour rotation, with each zone representing 1 hour of time difference. These zones are typically centered on lines of longitude that are multiples of 15 degrees. For example, New York is in UTC 5, while Tokyo is in UTC plus 9. Standard time zones help keep time consistent within countries and regions, making it easier to schedule activities and communicate across distances. Not all time zones are offset by whole hours. Some countries use half-hour or even quarter-hour differences. For example, India is at UTC plus 5:30, and Nepal is at UTC plus 5:45. These unusual offsets are often chosen for historical, political, or practical reasons. They can make international coordination more complex, but they reflect the unique needs of each region. The International Date Line is an imaginary line running from the North Pole to the South Pole, mostly along the 180th meridian. Crossing this line changes the calendar date by 1 day. If you travel west across the line, you add a day. If you travel east, you subtract a day. The date line is not straight, as it zigzags to avoid splitting countries and islands into different days. Most countries use a single time zone, but some, like Russia and the United States, span multiple zones due to their size. For example, Russia covers 11 time zones, while the US has 6 main time zones. This arrangement allows local time to match the position of the sun more closely, making daily life more practical for people across vast territories. The United States has 6 main time zones: Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific, Alaska, and Hawaii, Aleutian. Each zone is 1 hour apart, moving from east to west. This system helps coordinate activities across the country, from business meetings to television broadcasts. Some U.S. territories, like Puerto Rico and Guam, have their own time zones as well. Europe is divided into several time zones, including Western European Time, Central European Time, and Eastern European Time. Most countries follow whole-hour offsets, but some, like the United Kingdom, switch between GMT and British Summer Time. The European Union coordinates time changes to keep schedules aligned across member countries. Asia covers a vast area with many time zones. China, despite its size, uses a single time zone, China Standard Time, UTC plus 8. India uses UTC plus 5:30, while Japan is at UTC plus 9. Some countries, like Kazakhstan and Russia, span multiple zones. This diversity reflects the continent's size and complexity. Africa is divided into several time zones, mostly following whole-hour offsets. Countries in the West use UTC or UTC plus 1, while those in the East use UTC plus 3. Some countries, like Egypt and Morocco, observe daylight saving time, but most do not. The time zone system helps coordinate trade and communication across the continent. Australia has 3 main time zones: Western, Central, and Eastern. Some regions, like South Australia and the Northern Territory, use half-hour offsets. Nearby countries and islands, such as New Zealand and Fiji, have their own time zones, often influenced by their location and international connections. Daylight saving time is when clocks are set forward by 1 hour during part of the year to extend evening daylight. Not all countries observe DST, and those that do may start and end it on different dates. The goal is to make better use of daylight and save energy, but it can also cause confusion when coordinating across time zones. Time zones are essential for organizing travel, business, and communication. They allow people in different parts of the world to coordinate meetings, flights, and broadcasts. Without time zones, scheduling across countries would be chaotic, and international cooperation would be much harder. When you travel across time zones, you may experience jet lag, which happens when your body's internal clock is out of sync with local time. Airlines and travelers must carefully plan flights and schedules to account for time differences. Understanding time zones helps minimize confusion and ensures smooth journeys. Modern technology, like computers and smartphones, automatically adjusts for time zones. This makes it easier to schedule meetings, set reminders, and communicate globally. Many apps and devices use UTC as a reference, converting times to your local zone. This automation helps avoid mistakes and keeps everyone on the same page. International businesses rely on time zones to coordinate operations, meetings, and deadlines. Companies often have offices in multiple countries, so understanding time differences is crucial for productivity. Many organizations use UTC or GMT as a standard reference to avoid confusion when working across borders. Television and radio broadcasters use time zones to schedule programs for different audiences. For example, a live event in New York may air at different times in London, Tokyo, and Sydney. Broadcasters often list times in multiple zones to help viewers tune in at the right moment. The internet connects people worldwide, making time zones more important than ever. Online meetings, webinars, and live streams must account for participants in different regions. Many websites display times in your local zone or let you choose your preferred time zone for events and notifications. Scientists use time zones and UTC to coordinate experiments, observations, and data collection worldwide. For example, astronomers need precise timing to observe celestial events, while meteorologists track weather patterns across continents. Using a standard time reference ensures accuracy and collaboration in global research. International sports events, like the Olympics or World Cup, must consider time zones for scheduling games and broadcasts. Organizers plan events so that fans around the world can watch live, often adjusting start times to suit major audiences. Time zones play a key role in making global sports accessible to everyone. The concept of time zones was first proposed in the 19th century, as railroads and telegraphs made fast communication possible. Before time zones, each city kept its own local time, leading to confusion and missed connections. The adoption of standard time zones revolutionized travel and communication, laying the foundation for our modern world. Railroads played a major role in creating time zones. In the United States, train schedules were chaotic because each city used its own time. In 1883, American railroads adopted standardized time zones, which were later adopted by the government. This change made travel safer and more reliable. Political decisions often shape time zones. Some countries change their time zones for economic or diplomatic reasons. For example, North Korea has switched time zones several times to align with or distinguish itself from neighboring countries. These changes can affect trade, travel, and international relations. Some regions have unusual time zones that don't fit the standard pattern. For example, Newfoundland in Canada uses UTC 3:30, and the Chatham Islands in New Zealand use UTC plus 12:45. These unique zones often reflect local history, geography, or community preferences. Each time zone has an abbreviation, like EST for Eastern Standard Time or CET for Central European Time. These abbreviations help people quickly identify the time zone for meetings, flights, and broadcasts. It's important to know the difference between standard and daylight time abbreviations, such as EST and EDT. Time zone maps show the division of the world into different time zones. These maps use colors and lines to indicate where each zone begins and ends. They're useful for planning, travel, business, and international events, helping people visualize how time changes across the globe. Converting time between zones involves adding or subtracting the time difference from UTC. For example, if it's 12 UTC and you're in New York, UTC 5, it's 7 a.m. Many online tools and apps can help with these conversions, making it easier to schedule meetings and events across different regions. The world's earliest time zone is UTC plus 14, used by some Pacific islands like Kiribati. The latest is UTC 12, covering uninhabited areas in the Pacific Ocean. This means there can be a 26-hour difference between places on opposite sides of the international dateline. The military uses a system called Zulu time, which is the same as UTC. This standardization helps coordinate operations and communications across different regions. Military time zones are labeled with letters, such as Z for Zulu, UTC, A for UTC, +1, and so on. Aviation uses UTC for flight planning and air traffic control. Pilots and controllers worldwide refer to UTC to avoid confusion caused by local time differences. This practice ensures safety and efficiency in international air travel. Shipping companies use time zones to coordinate the movement of goods across oceans and continents. Accurate timing is essential for tracking shipments, managing ports, and ensuring timely deliveries. Time zones help synchronize operations in the global supply chain. Space agencies use UTC to schedule launches, communicate with astronauts, and coordinate missions. Since space missions involve teams from many countries, a single time standard is essential for collaboration and safety. UTC keeps everyone on the same schedule, whether on Earth or in orbit. Religious observances, such as prayer times and holidays, often depend on local time zones. For example, the start of Ramadan or the timing of daily prayers in Islam is based on the position of the sun in each region. Time zones help communities observe traditions accurately. Cultural events, festivals, and traditions are often scheduled according to local time zones. New Year's celebrations, for example, happen at midnight in each region, creating a wave of festivities around the globe. Time zones shape how people experience important moments together. Schools and universities use time zones to schedule classes, exams, and online courses. International students and teachers must be aware of time differences to participate in virtual lessons. Time zones ensure that educational activities run smoothly across borders. Healthcare providers use time zones to coordinate patient care, telemedicine, and emergency services. International medical teams rely on accurate timing for consultations and treatments. Time zones help ensure that patients receive timely care, no matter where they are. Environmental monitoring, such as tracking weather, climate, and natural disasters, depends on time zones for accurate data collection. Scientists use UTC to compare observations from different regions, helping them understand global patterns and respond to emergencies. Time zones affect our daily routines, from waking up to going to bed. They influence when we eat, work, and relax. When friends and family live in different zones, staying in touch requires planning and awareness of time differences. As technology advances, some experts suggest we might move toward a single global time, like UTC, for certain activities. However, local time zones are likely to remain important for daily life. The balance between global coordination and local needs will shape the future of timekeeping. Time zones are a fundamental part of our world, helping us organize life across continents and cultures. From travel and business to science and family, understanding time zones makes global living possible. As our world becomes more connected, time zones will continue to play a vital role in keeping us all in sync. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world's time zones. We hope you now have a clearer understanding of how time is organized around the globe and why it matters in our daily lives. Whether you're planning a trip, scheduling a meeting, or just curious about the world, knowing about time zones is a valuable skill. Safe travels and happy scheduling!